civil society, that of course part of the, the people, they can always suggest and make recommendations, because of course resources is very scarce. Because resources is very scarce, you need to, when you do it with them, they feel that sense of belonging. It means that you just like reading their minds and doing exactly what they need at that time, and they will want to cooperate with government. There will be stability, there will be peace, and of course they will own the project. The process of owning the project, you can be sure that they will want to even protect the project.
Right. Well, are there any benefits of citizen participation in budgeting? Are there any benefits?
Very well.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of benefit. Like I said from the beginning, government is about the people.
That's right.
If government is about the people, you don't just decide for them whatever you think. And of course, representative of the people should be able to continue to engage them and then give feedbacks to the authorities, so that whatever decisions government is going to make, such decisions will reflect the actual needs of the people.
But let me ask you this question off the record now. Do you think that there has been a government engagement of the people, especially with recent happenings that's going on in the country, and particularly the River State, happening, the suspension of the sitting governor, elected governor of River State at this point?
Well, that really could be a distraction.
A little bit of distraction.
Yeah.
But yeah, because the Nigerians will open the phone lines, and Nigerians would also want to might want to ask you that question too as well.
For instance,
personally,
in the president's decision, to put them on temporal suspension, he didn't need to consult. It's basically down to security issues.
Okay.
Yeah,
so when it gets to security,
different.
there are some. That's an exception. That's what you're saying. But when it's about community development and stuff like that, the people have to be consulted, carried along.
Yes.
All right, I get that now. All right, so you heard it already, and our guest is already opening our eyes on the topical issue, the power of citizens in shaping budgeting and project implementation. All right, and let's talk about the challenges of open budgeting in Nigeria though so far.
Yeah, we're coming from a system that has not been so open.
Okay.
No thanks to the infiltration of the military. At that time, that was not a democracy, so you can't even ask.
Right.
You get what you see, and you don't ask questions. But since the advent of democracy, a whole lot has begun to change. So there's a lot more openness, and in recent times, advocacies around the world has indicated that that's the way to go. And of course, what it entails is that the people who are being governed should actually have a say in what government is all about.
Okay.
Yes, we have representations, from the local government. The state assembly is there. In local government, for instance, you have councillors representing the people. In the state assembly, you have the state assembly members, of course, representing the various constituencies in their state. Then, of course, at the national assembly, at the national level, there's the National Assembly comprising of the Senate and the representatives, the House of Representatives, all of them representing the people. So what it entails is that the being to debate what actually is the needs of the people.
Okay.
Is it water? Is it health? Is it school? Is it road and all that? Like I said before, scarcity will not give the luxury to government to want to do everything at the same time.
Right.
Since that is a constraint, so what should we do first?
Prioritize
as government.
Right.
And because you're consulting the people, they are in the best position to say, okay, give us road first, give us market, give us health service, give us water, and all that.
All right, you already heard that, and there has also been the talk about technology and what it plays, in matters that concern, citizen participation in governance. And I just want to ask you, how can technology enhance open budgeting as well as citizen participation?
Yeah, of course. Recent times there's been the global intervention through the World Bank on a program called SIFTA, State Transparency, and it has helped in making states, to be more transparent, to be more open. You find out that states put out there, on their portals, the budget provisions, the budget details of what a government is supposed to do in a particular year, down the line, sectoral, breakdowns and all that. So what it means is that at the comfort of your house, your office, your people, you can actually monitor what a state intends to do. Are you going to benefit from this budget in any way? Will there be a road around my area? Will there be some kind of intervention in water problems that you're having? So again, that's leveraging on technology, because what it means is that you'll be able to see, what exactly that state is trying to do for you in the budget season, usually, a year.
Okay, usually a year.
Yeah.
Right. We're still engaging, the SERDAC as well as the OGP, of course, is sponsored by the European Union, and we're looking at the power of citizens in shaping budgeting and project implementation. And our guest, Mr. Sule Onekwojo, right? Musa, is a fiscal reform governance expert with a wealth of experience in budgeting and project implementation. We'll just go take a breather. We'll be right back in a short bit. Don't go away.
Are you ready to make your voice heard and demand accountability from the government? The Partnership for Democracy and Accountability project is here to empower you. With support from the Open Government Partnership and the European Union, this project aims to strengthen the open government partnership process in Nigeria. The goal is to promote inclusive governance, enhance citizens' participation, and build a co-creation process between the government and civil society organizations. This means you will have a say in shaping development and holding the government accountable. By working together, we can create a more transparent and accountable government. So let's make our voices heard and demand a better future for Nigeria. Join the conversation on OGP Open Talk Show and stay updated on the project's progress every Thursday by 11 a.m. exclusively on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Together, we can make a difference.
Back from that breather, and yes, we're looking at the power of citizens in shaping budgeting and project implementation. As our guest, who is in the person of Mr. Sule Onekwojo, Musa is here. He's a fiscal reform governance expert, and he's got a wealth of experience, in this regard. But you also want to join the conversation. You've got one or two questions you want to ask very quickly. You might as well do that right now, as the opportunity has come. 0907 353 0044 is that number to call, and the other number 0908 766 8888. Leave us a message via the WhatsApp portal 0909 705 4450. We're still talking matters that concern, open budgeting, and I'd like to ask you, Mr. Sule, what role do civil society organizations play in promoting open budgeting?
Yeah, indeed. This opportunity we have here right now, it's of course powered courtesy of the civil society, courtesy of SEDEC, the Social Economic Development Center. Of course, that's why we are here. So the civil society can interface between both the government actors and non-government actors.
Okay.
And of course, the community. They can actually represent and bring forward, what they think is a reflection of what the people need. Because most times, because it's not really our practice, the people are so laid back. And of course, most times too, you agree that they don't really know what they should do. Sometimes they don't know their rights. that they can actually put something forward, put a demand to government.
Is this what OGP and SEDEC is also doing right now?
That's exactly what we do.
Know your rights.
They are hearing us. We're educating them.
Right.
And we're telling them that, look, you can actually influence the programs and the projects that, come to your community. You don't just sit back, So in the absence of the people, the community coming forward, the civil society, like SEDEC, can easily interface and say, look, we have interacted with the people,
right?
And from what we have, discovered as priority for them now, they cannot move their goods from their farms, to the market. So they will do, or they will need health centers because there's some kind of problems, health-wise, and they will have to travel very far, to the closest health center around them. So basically, what they will require now is a health center or a health facility like that. So that's exactly what the civil society can do. And of course, you agree with me that government tends to listen more, to the civil society organization more than individuals. You understand?
Okay. Well, then, how then can the citizens, engage the government to the place of accountability, especially when it has to do with open budgeting? Hold the government, accountable. How can they do that? Because you rightfully mentioned the fact that over time, citizens have been asking questions. How do we do this? How do we, get through to the government? How do we hold them accountable? Even today, right? Earlier on the political show, we had a family member who's been asking, how then do we hold the government accountable?
It's very easy. There are provisions even in the law presently, apart from the 1979 Constitution. There's the Fiscal Responsibility Act, that talks about the citizens' right to access information, to make complaints, to make demands.
Okay.
So if you don't really know any of these things, if you don't even understand that such laws are available, you might not be able to use it. Then, of course, you can leverage, the opportunities that the civil societies like SEDEC have.
Okay.
So you can walk into their office, and get them on their portal, and then, of course, push your complaint across, and they can indeed act on behalf of you. You send out reports. You can hold a press conference. I'm saying a whole lot already. You understand? You can hold a press conference as a community, for instance, and say, look, my community was awarded social project, and in the course of the period, we can tell you authoritatively that this project is not coming through, or that the standard is not what they expect. So by the time you put it out, you are holding government accountable. You can drag them. I've watched online before, just an individual, in a village where he felt that his community is being shortchanged, and he was, putting out a video of a road that was poorly done, and it went viral. And of course, they were forced back. The contractors were forced back to go and make corrections on the road.
On the road.
So the people have enormous power that they do not know that they have.
All right, you heard it already. You have enormous power that you don't even know you have. You still want to add your voice in the discourse this morning. Ask one or two questions as to how you can be a part of, understanding, the intricacies that, surround open budgeting, especially when it has to do with, governance in the country. Well, the number would be 0907 353 0044. The other number is 0908 766 8888. So I'm going to ask you a two-in-one question now, for want of time, right? The first would be, what are some, success stories of open budgeting that you have, encountered or you've heard in Nigeria so far in the course of your expertise, work? And then how can open budgeting promote economic development and poverty reduction? Poverty reduction.
Yeah, just like we've been talking about it, before now, budgets have been thrown at the people.
Okay.
But right now, from the beginning, the preparatory, stage of budgeting, people are being carried along. Like, for instance, the representatives at the national level, for instance, they have access to MDAs, where relevant, projects can be imputed for them on behalf of their community.
Okay.
So again, as a citizen, if you feel you cannot access an MDA, a particular MDA for a project, use your elected official, elected representative.
Okay.
Or, like I said before, use the NGOs, the civil society organizations. Make a cry to them. SEDEC, for instance, the Socioeconomic Research and Development Center can, of course, come in handy. So that's one of the things they do. There's public hearing to most budgets.
Right.
Yes, especially in the national and state levels. I don't know. For now, at the local government level, it's been a disaster.
Yes.
Before the last Supreme Court judgment on their
Autonomy, right? I believe
yes, yes.
Okay.
So that's the problem. But the people can easily do it. Yes.
So have we seen success stories? Have you?
The success stories, of course, that's why we're having questions. We're even having this. Before now, you can't even do this.
Oh.
Yeah, because nobody will even, take you serious. No government will. You just see budgets being thrown at you. But now there are fora for such a thing. There's public, forum for every budget implementation. Before it gets passed, there must be, the public forum,
right,
where the figures, will be thrown at the people, and the projects will be put out there. Say, look, this is what we intend to do. This is the revenue we're expecting, and this is how we intend to spend the money.
So, do you think Nigerians are waking up to the realization that there's a need for participation in governance, in politics today?
Like I said, no thanks to the military conundrum that has really eaten deep.
Right.
We are waking up to it. It's a gradual thing.
Okay.
And the success so far is very, very interesting and promising.
Success is very interesting and promising. Now, what advice would you give to citizens who want to participate in the budgeting process in the country?
Start from the local level, the community.
Right.
Yes, you can even get together as a forum, put a forum where you can be heard within the community. It could be under the leadership of your maybe local or traditional ruler, or a group or a cooperative. Then, of course, if you have a serious civil society organization like SEDEC, you can live up to them, look out for them, and put your complaint or your demand through, because the truth is that there's not enough resources at all times to really do everything that the people want. But the few ones that the resources can take, let it be prioritized. Let it be a complete reflection of what the people actually need.
What should also be the role of the citizens, in this engagement?
Citizens should follow through.
Follow through.
When the states, for instance, put out their budget, on their portal, it's always there. It's a good thing that this development has taken for in almost all the states of the federation. Look out for it, and then narrow it down to your area. What project is coming to you? What health project? What agricultural project have they put in place? What is it? A market? Is it the road on thing? So now once you know that this project has been budgeted for, and you track fund releases and all that, and you see a contractor coming to put his signpost that we have gotten an award to do this road. Yeah, that's where the citizens should start from. Follow it. Even offer support. Don't gag them, antagonize them, because such problems do come. Be friendly to them, and then, of course, know the extent to which that job is all about.
Right.
Like details of what it entails. How many culverts should be there, the thickness of the road, the length of the road, and all that. So that if there are deviations, as a community, flag it. Let the red flag go up to that MDA that's in charge of that project.
Right.
So that at the end of the day, such contractor can be brought to book.
Right. We get this one from Samuel from Kuje now. Says greetings to you and the guest. If it is in this country, if it's in a country where the interest of the people matters, the government will not wake up and do budget without the citizens having an input. What we see in this country is that the budget is between the executives and the National Assembly, who will now force the budget on our throats, or through our throats, whether we like it or not. When the citizens are carried along in budgeting, we can be able to tell them what we need as citizens, and not the government making a budget that will not have any impact on the citizens. All right, says, thank you right there. What do you think about, those?
That's interesting. That's interesting. Again, you see, it's the follow through from what we're talking about.
Right.
But right now, the citizens should know that there are opportunities, for them in budget preparation. Like I said, there is no budget that can be passed without the public hearing.
Okay.
And what is public hearing? Public hearing is for you and I to participate. Maybe not as an individual, but as a group, or under the guise of a civil society.
Right.
Let them let them come up and represent. If there's a project that you think should be, if there's a project that you think should be prioritized and it's not there, and there's one that you don't really think it's so demanding now, yes, such interventions can come up, and they can drop the ones that you don't actually need for the ones you
want.
Need.
Okay. Yes. Well, anyways, conclusion, of course, would be the fact that citizens play a vital role in driving open budgeting and project implementation. And by participating in budgeting process, citizens can ensure that public funds are allocated effectively and efficiently, and that their needs are taken into account. Is that a summary of what we have just, conversed today?
Exactly.
All right, exactly, he says. And you need to get across social media platforms now, and so you can see my guest, who is indeed very eloquent and very versed with matters that concern, open budgeting in Nigeria. He is in the person of Mr. Sule. Permit me, Musa. Okay, I'll leave the other one.
And
all right,
you left out is the most important.
Okay, Unekojo.
Yes, people need to know where I come from.
Unekojo. I said it correctly, yeah?
Very well.
Okay. He's a fiscal reforms governance expert with a wealth of experience in budgeting and project implementation. It's also very poignant to put it out there that this also has been made possible by the Open Government Partnership, right, as well as the Socio-Economic Research and Development Center, SERDEC, as well as the European Union. Until we come your way, same time, same station, next week. I want to say a big thank you to you.
It's a pleasure.
Appreciate. This is a wrap. And, of course, the breakfast show is still ongoing, overlooking a 12 o'clock mark for the Sunny Side Show. My name is Udwak Daniel.